And I'm kind of just allowing the universal teachers to have quite a lot of sway, or the spiritual energies, or whatever, this higher realm that comes in the webinars, just to allow that to come in and help with the teaching and the healing. And doing that, it never goes in the direction I think it's going to go, but I think there's a much deeper possibility of profound healing when I kind of give up and just let that energy teach, in a way, because it's coming from places that I know nothing about, and they've got understandings that I know nothing about, and they obviously, because they're coming from the spiritual realm and working down through the physical body, they obviously understand all of the lineups and the different matrices and how the anatomy and energy systems of the body align with the earth and the spiritual realms. And I think most of this hasn't been, well, certainly to do with holographic breathing, hasn't been mapped out by mankind, because we don't understand the subtleties of it, or the depth of it, or whole areas of the spiritual universe. We haven't been there, we have glimpses of it, but I don't think it's within our comprehension, really. So even though I don't know how it will go, I'm going to allow that to come in. And what they're kind of saying is they want to be allowed to do healing. So I'm going to allow that, and that's up to you whether you wish to allow that for yourselves. And it may be the channels that I'm in contact, it may be with your higher self, or the channels that you're in contact with. Who's to say that they may be the same thing? Who really knows? But if you want to allow that to be part of the webinar and allow healing, then certainly from my end I'm going to let that be available, or encourage that from my end. For the brain, there's two different halves of this. When we're working with the cerebrum, the top part of the brain, this relates in the body a lot to the abdomen. Even though it's high, close to the heavens, there's a lot to do with psychic abilities and connecting to the heavenly bodies. It also has quite a low and grounded connection in the body. It relates a lot to the gut, to the whole abdomen and all the organs in the abdomen and the digestive tract. You've got the sexual organs. It will also relate to the lungs and heart, but it is in a way relating to all of that, to all of the organs, and most of those organs are in the abdomen. So a huge amount of it, a huge amount of the cerebrum is connected to the abdomen. That gives it gratefully a strong grounding in the body. So you get the higher energies, but it's strongly grounded into those organs and will deeply heal those organs. I think the organs of the body are underestimated when we're working with healing. Quite often when people talk about the body, kind of thinking of the musculature, the bones, the arteries, the blood supply, the nervous system. I'm not sure how much attention is paid to the organs. And they're not easy to comprehend, they're not easy to get in contact with. But once you learn how to do that, they give a side of healing that I think is profound and has a certain quality to it. And that's why in the holographic breathing we've kind of focused on that side, on the qualities of the organs, the manifestation of the different organs, how their qualities open up into life around us. Now, each organ is a manifest part of our psyche, our personality, our being. You know, it's a proportionate part of it, and it brings a reality. And I think it connects into the unconscious, an unconscious part of us, or primitive part of us, because they're not conscious. The organs are part of the nervous system that just does it. You know, it's a good job they're not under our jurisdiction and we have to get the liver to work and we have to get the spleen to work. It just works, whatever, and luckily. So it's not, the workings of them is not conscious, like the movements of the arms is conscious. Even though our breath will work on its own, we can also consciously work with the breath. The heart is going to beat whether we're being aware of it or not, and it's quite a good job. So for the majority of the organs, they're part of us that we are not aware of. And in holographic breathing, we can become aware of that. So it kind of opens a new world. And I am a new traveler to this just as much as everyone else. In a way, you know, I've been working with it for a long time with different things. With Tibetan pulsing, I worked with it, but it's unfolded in a completely new way with holographic breathing that I definitely don't fully understand. But I feel healthier. I've cleared Lyme's disease. I'm not dead as I would have been if I hadn't discovered holographic breathing. And, you know, healing is a journey that you don't really want to come to an end. It's not something you can do and it's over and it's finished. It is a journey, and it will go forever. If it's spiritually based, then there's no end to it, because you keep manifesting, you keep evolving, you keep moving forwards spiritually. So there's not really an end point, even if we get to a point where we don't get reincarnated again, that we just become spirit. I'm sure you just continually evolve in different ways. And the organs are like that. They just keep unfolding as we work with them. So that's what we're doing. So I can't claim to know more than other people, because nobody knows it all. In the face, the eyes relates to the eyes. The eye sockets, the brain for the face. So it's highest point in everything. That becomes quite bright. So you get this bright connection when you work with the points. But you get this very grounded connection when you work with the brain and the organs. It really gives it a grounding that can feel quite uncomfortable, and it's good to find that equilibrium between it grounding into the organs, the energy points, and its natural proclivity, I don't know where that word came from. I don't even know if it's the right word. There you go, proclivity. I'm just getting more and more intelligent as I get older. To connect to the higher energies. You know, it's the highest point of the body, it's the highest matrix, and after that it becomes ethereal. So obviously there is, okay, that is what we're working with tonight, is the message. We're working with that balance of the brain grounding into the body, and especially the organs. The brain is an organ and connects to the organs, so there's that grounded area of it. There's the energetic points which bring it higher and brighter. And then there's this dialogue between the brain and the higher energies, which again we know next to nothing about. And it'd probably be good to start mapping that out, really, finding a way of understanding the different qualities of the higher self and the beyond, because they are clearly part of us. Many people think themselves as just this body, but we're obviously an energy body. We're obviously, the higher self is just as much part of us as the lower self. We know a lot about our lower self. We don't really know anything about our higher self. So that, okay, we wanted to use that word again, but it's gone. That proclivity, whatever that word is, I don't even know what it is, to connect to the higher self and allow ourselves to transcend, allow ourselves to become in contact with the beyond, with that we don't know and understand, and allowing ourselves to be transmuted in that communication, allowing our DNA to change, allowing our bodies to change, allowing our understanding to change, allowing those energies. I don't know that healing is the right word, because I don't know. I presume it will make people more healthy and live longer, but I don't really know what it will do. It's kind of an unknown journey in that way. I know when my Kundalini awoke and never stopped, my feeling was that I was going to die, because the energies that were normally circulating in the body and to do with health and my well-being on earth were no longer working to do that. They were more just going through the brain and going home to spirit. And it was somehow by the divine grace of God that I stayed alive. And I've felt very fragile since that point, you know, and I'm actually healthier. But everything changes in that union. You kind of kept alive, kept healthy by something that is beyond you rather than something that is intrinsic in you. And maybe at a certain stage in people's spiritual involvement, they do become more spiritual. They do, you know, it's just different. You're kept alive, you're kept healthy in a different way at that stage. So with this communication, my guess is that it will heal chronic diseases, unknown diseases, popular diseases. It will heal those things, but you may not live longer, or you may die earlier. But the game is no longer just on physical well-being. The game goes beyond death at that point. It's no longer this lifetime. It goes beyond this lifetime and beyond your own personal arena of what you consider is good or bad for yourself. So it enters a new playing field, and this lifetime is transitory, and you just move on into another life in a new way. So that is more the arena that it moves into when we start working with that. And everybody, oh, I want to be healed, I want to be healed. But when that energy becomes a permanent thing, it's no longer about being healing. You're definitely more fragile. It feels like you need to be looked after or something. Ways that you, well, because your mind goes, you know, you had your mind kind of looking after you before. You kind of go insane and your mind's gone. You know, it's not there to sort everything out anymore. So it's a different thing. I'm surprised everyone hasn't left by now. So anyway, so see, that's what happens when I let spirit be in charge. We enter into a realm that I don't really know about, or maybe other people feel, oh, I don't know about that. But you can move in and out of that. You don't have to do it as I'm doing. You bring your own boundaries with you and can drop in and out of that as much as you so wish. But true healing isn't for the wishy-washy. It's not for the faint at heart, and it's not about just feeling better. There's a lot more to it than that.